Good afternoon. Yesterday I described BCG matrix, and today I will describe G matrix. Actually, both having an impact on statistic formulation, but G matrix is much more sophisticated than BCG matrix. If you see, we find that here y-axis having industry attractiveness and x-axis having business unit strength. Why these two things are required? Because industry attractiveness is very important. Where you are want to operate, that is very important. That's why companies are moving out from the domestic country overseas or from small place to bigger place. That means size of the market is very important. Total sale of missiles is basically 2% around from the market of Switzerland. On the other hand, in case of Philips, from a Dutch, I would say, a Dutch company having only 8% market share, or I would say only 8% total revenues are basically coming from Holland itself. So other business subsidiaries are giving enormous amount of returns. So what is important? Size of the market leads to industry attractiveness. Here the factor is size of the market, growth rate. If the growth rate is not so lucrative, why should I invest into this particular market? Because I have to bear the cost itself. Next is profitability. Obviously, each and every day businessmen are investing a lot of monies with an expectation that I will get good amount of profitability from these particular products, markets, etc. etc. Now, number of customers, this is very important. Say for an example, if the market is basically having a lot of competitors, cutthroat competition is going on, then it is very difficult to get good amount of profitability from the market, or you can secure good amount of market share from the market. So what is important is depending upon your number of competitors as well as weakness of the competitors. Weakness of the competitors are very important because you have to think of strength, weakness, opportunity and threat of the companies. Why it is so important? As because of the competitors are important. Why? Because you have to think of his strength as well as weakness. Say for an example, the weakness of Apple is the cost, because each and every individuals, even if they wish to buy Apple products, they will unable to bear the cost. So this is an advantage for Samsung, MI or other kind of brands, Vivo, Oppo, etc. etc. So what is important? You have to think of this particular aspect of for industry attractiveness, and business unit strength are important. I have already mentioned here the business unit strength. Whether I am at all competent into this particular market, that is very important. Assets and holdings of the company is very important. Share of the market, how much share I have into this particular market. Position of its brand, that is also very important. I mean to say, share of the market is important, at the same time position of the brand is also very important. And customers loyalty, whether the customers rely upon your products, that is very important. And creativity, because you have to focus on research and development. You have to ensure a lot of things to the customers in today's market. At the same time, you have to think of lucrative kind of investment. You have to come up with a good promotional aspects. All these things are important. So you have to be very creative into this particular. Now here you will find the 9 quadrants are there. In BCG matrix we have 4 only, that is star, question marks, cash cow and dogs. Here you will find that the y-axis having industry attractiveness as well as x-axis having business unit strength. And what stands for each? M and L. This is high, medium as well as low. On the other hand, here you will find a strong, medium and low. So I have written these things for your convenience. That means if it is H's, that means high industry attractiveness as well as strong business unit strength. That means you will grow here. Similarly, here you also you grow, here you also grow. So this is basically a kind of just reverse of a triangle, you can say like that. Here you will find that in these three cases, like high S, HM, high as well as medium as well as strong, here the options are grow. That means the market is growing, everything is, you are also growing. So you invest into this particular market so that you will get a future good return. Similarly, if you think of high industry attractiveness but business unit strength wise it is low. Similarly, it is MM, that means medium as well as medium hold, as well as lower as well as strength. That means you have to hold. So this is the line where you have to hold the business. That means you invest into this particular market where you are growing. You have the opportunity to grow further. You have the future ability to, to snatch away from the competitors' pie. So you hold also here also. If you have the money, so you invest into this particular segment, I would say. And last trees are basically harvest. That means you are not getting exact amount of return. So in that case, you need to exit out from this particular portfolio or from this strategic business unit like this way. There are a lot many examples are there where the companies have sold out the division. I can cite that a company has sold his I would say tuberculosis division. Someone has sold his I would say the electronics division. Some companies have sold its entire vaccine division. Some companies have sold their entire cosmetic division because same kind of thing. That means it is not at all lucrative for them. In future, the profitability is not so high. So they want to come out from this particular segment. So first of all, you have to think of this market where you are going. You should focus on this, invest on this. Here you should hold your case, and here you basically come out from this particular market. So this is basically GE matrix, which is much sophisticated than BCG matrix. Hope you will listen some kind of things, as well as you will appreciate this kind of effort during this lockdown period where we are not in a position to take the classes regularly. We have to